Hey, my name is Gytis. I'm a UX and product designer, and in this video I'll talk about how I transitioned from office work to working remotely and running my own business. I've been able to work with some of the biggest companies in the world while traveling and enjoying a fulfilling lifestyle. I will also share some tips that helped me to work remotely better and share some of the principles that helped me to achieve my goals. For me, living well means having the flexibility and freedom to control my life schedule and time. During my second year in university, I was traveling through Europe with my best friend, and we were hiking up a hill somewhere in Germany, I don't remember where, and at that point I realized how amazing it would be to travel and see new things on my own terms and not depend on my future employers. To work from any place, any time, to take as much time off as I wanted, no questions asked. And that was a turning point for me, because then I decided that I want to work remotely and maybe even have my own business. Now, after more than 6 years, I can pick and choose the projects that I want to work on and work on them while I'm on a trip across Italy. I grew up in a small town called Zarasai, Lithuania, where I had the opportunity to explore many of my interests through art and music, as well as various youth projects, writing for a newspaper, playing in an orchestra with saxophone, and dancing. After high school, I went to study at the University of Aberdeen in Scotland, while all of my friends stayed in Lithuania. It took some time to adjust, to say the least, and it was probably one of the more stressful periods of my life, but also one of the most freeing, because it was the first time I depended solely on myself. I got to work many random jobs while studying, which helped me realize what sort of jobs I liked and was good at, but mostly I think it provided me with a very real motivation to get a good job so that I would not need to work as a waiter or sales assistant ever again. After working on my neuroscience bachelor thesis for several months, I quickly realized that being a scientist wasn't for me. It took me 2 months in a dark room just looking through the microscope to get that. After graduation, I joined my then fiancée for her Erasmus year in France, where she studied business and French. I spent that year searching for a new career and eventually landed on web design. It seemed like a great mix of creative and technical work, and I wanted to have both. Plus, it offered me an entry into a growing industry and was supposed to pay a decent wage and offer the opportunity to work from home, and that's all I wanted. I completed multiple online courses for full stack and web development, not really knowing what I will need. And then once we came back to UK, I applied to many jobs, and finally I managed to land my first full-time position as a UX designer, thanks to some freelancing design gigs that I've showed during my interview. We knew we'd return to Lithuania after she got her diploma, so we spent about a year in the office, and when the time came, I told the company I was leaving, hoping to continue work remotely. They agreed because I had a good relationship with my boss, and now that I look back, this was the first step that sparked the transition from office work to starting my own business. We returned to our home country Lithuania a few years before the pandemic made remote work mainstream. It was definitely a strange transition at first. Working alone in my own room while the rest of the team was in my old office in Aberdeen created a feeling of distance. I tried to communicate with my team as much as possible, but it was difficult because finding resources at that time was not really that easy. Over the years, I've learned how to work remotely more effectively. Literature and research helped, though on the individual level, the trial and error method seems to work the best. It is much easier to do that now, of course, with all the available tools like Slack, Zoom, and other online communication and project management apps. But after 4 months of working remotely, I got used to it. And now, after more than 6 years of doing it, I don't want to go back to an office even for a day. So that's my story. I hope that by sharing my experiences and lessons that I learned along the way, I can inspire you to pursue a career in a remote work and have a fulfilling and interesting lifestyle. Thanks for watching.